So, a few years ago, I went on a trip to Canada. We were looking for a place to eat, so we settled on a restaurant. I opened the menu and had a moment. I saw Blt Dip. I'm mostly mad at myself for not coming up with this idea because it's genius. I mean, who doesn't love a BLT? So I had to have it, obviously. I tasted it and it was perfect. So I told myself I have to make this when I get home. So I've made it a few times and it hits every time. People love this dip. It's a warm dip, so that makes it even better. It's like you're eating a BLT, but it's on a cracker. It's the strangest thing, but it's so delicious. I'm having a craving. I want to make it. So I'm going to share, and you're welcome. First things first, we are going to put the oven at 375. Into a bowl, we're going to put 4 ounces of room temperature cream cheese. Along with the cream cheese, just put a couple tablespoons of mayonnaise, like so. Next, just a couple of drops of Worcestershire sauce. Next thing is kind of weird for a BLT, but it works, I promise. Probably about 1/4 cup of some chopped green onion, or scallions, whatever you want to call them. This recipe calls for iceberg lettuce, but I don't have any, so I'm gonna use some romaine, just a couple of leaves of romaine lettuce, also finely chopped. The heart and soul of this recipe, bacon. I just added a few slices in here. Make more than what you think you will need because you will eat some. I've already eaten more than I should. I'm gonna add a handful or so of mozzarella. You want it good and cheesy. And I also have some just slices of Swiss cheese that I'm just gonna tear up and throw in here. It's a good melting cheese. It tastes good. Go for it. You want a good and cheesy dip. So we've got most of our ingredients in here. What I'm gonna do is stir this up now, and then I'm going to add the tomatoes because I don't want them to squish too much. Add some salt and pepper. Don't need too much salt because of the bacon. This is why it's really helpful to have room temperature cream cheese because it was so much easier to stir around. So now that this is well incorporated, I'm going to throw the tomato in. I just have 1 Roma tomato. Gently incorporate that in so you don't squish it all. So there you go. There's the mixed together dip. Now we can bake it off. I just have a small little casserole dish here, lunch lady it in. And then just even layer. I throw this in a preheated oven, again to 375, and I'm going to bake it until you can see the edges start to bubble and the top's gonna get a little brown and melty. But for sure, you want to make sure that the edges are bubbling. I don't think you're ready for this. I am. You want it? Can you hear that? See the bubbles? This looks divine. I am so excited. It's all bubbly around the edges and then the top has browned some. Ooh, I'm gonna let this cool for like 10-15 minutes. It's very, very hot right now. This will hurt your mouth. So I'm gonna have to wait even longer. This was in the oven for probably 15-20 minutes. It looks perfect. So I'm gonna let this cool and then I'm gonna dig into it hard. I don't have any crackers, so I'm just going to fork it. Look at this. Get all the good little pieces in there. It's steaming, it's stringy. Look at that, all the good stuff. I think it's still too hot, but I don't care. Wow. That tastes like I'm eating a BLT. I mean, it would. The green onions in here taste so good. It's not like oniony, you know? Ooh, look at the cheese. It's super easy and everyone will love this. No one hates this dip. If you hate this dip, then it's a problem and you have to try it. It's so good. So make it for your next party.